Okay guys, just the final video for today, a really quick one. Today I want to introduce you to video lighting. Okay, right now, if you can see this video right now, I'm using the automatic exposure function of my phone. And as I move, you can see it getting brighter and darker. Okay, now the reason for that is because the phone calculates the area on the screen. Right, let me try and draw it for you, that has darkness in it. In this case, it's my shirt. So if I get more of my shirt in the frame, the camera brightens up the frame. But if I move like that, it will compensate as well. Now, it's fine. It in terms of the documentary recording, in terms of wildlife, or in terms of live recording events, it's adequate. For filmmaking, on the other hand, it isn't. Okay, this little flickering thing is not what we want. Okay, so to do that, to reduce this, we need to set our cameras to full manual, exposure manual, white balance manual, everything manual, and everything will stay exactly as it is. Now the problem here is we need to light the room now, because some parts of the room are going to be brighter than the rest. Okay, so to do the lighting, or to actually light up the room, we're going to need to use lighting gear. Okay, and this is essentially the very first in a series of videos I intend to do to explain video lighting, not photo lighting, video lighting. And the gear that we have in KDU that you guys are very familiar with is this, the Yongnuo handheld light. Okay, now unfortunately the lighting in this room is kind of atrocious as well. So let me change the position of the camera a little bit. Yeah, maybe like that. Okay, there we go. See, following some basic tenets, lighting is behind the camera now, and now you can see the object. Okay, of course the light is lighting my face, but if I turn it around, you can see that the light is made up of little dots. Each of these dots is an LED, or a light emitting diode. And right now, the lights that are shining are the white LEDs, or the ones that are rated at 5,500 Kelvin. Okay. Now, if you're wondering what 5,500 Kelvin is, it'll be Kelvin of the Kelvin scale. Okay. You can YouTube or Google it, what is the Kelvin scale, and a video will explain. I will attempt to explain it at a later date once I have prepared some graphics, so it's easy to explain. But the simplest way to explain it would be daylight sun at midday. Okay, if you stand outside at 12 o'clock, the sun that's hitting you, the color of the white rays that are hitting you, is 5,500 Kelvin, otherwise known as that. Okay, the light that is hitting my face right now is daylight. Unfortunately, the camera cannot compensate. The camera cannot understand what's happening right now. So it is adjusting for my face, the color of my face. But when it changes its white balance for my face, look at the background. The background is now green. Wow, fluorescent lights are green. Didn't know that, but now you do. Watch what happens when I take the light away from the frame. The background is now white, and that's white balance. Okay, the camera tries to fix the white balance for you. Again, if you are doing pro work, you do not want this shift. You want to lock everything down, and to do that, you need lighting that is accurate. You need to know what is the ambient light. You need to know what this light is. This light is going to be about 7,000 Kelvin. This light is going to be about 5,500 Kelvin. And the outside light, if it's at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, will be 5,500 to 5,200 Kelvin. Okay? Now, what if the light was in the morning or late evening? Is it still 5,500 Kelvin? No. It becomes more orangey, right? Orange in color. Okay? And in the morning, the color could be 3,200 Kelvin or orange. Let me show you what 3200 Kelvin looks like on this lamp. By the way, these are semi-professional lamps. And because they're semi-professional, you can change the color temperature here. All right, all you need to do is press this button and then shift the color. And what's happening now is I am increasing the orange LEDs. Let me show you. All right, if you look carefully, you now have white LED, orange LED, white LED, orange LED, white LED, orange LED. So I'm going to close the white LEDs. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The white LEDs are shut. Now look at the screen. The screen has converted the LEDs into white. That is your white balance at play. But turn it around and see what's happening now. The light is not white actually, the light is orange. And you can see, all right, the camera's going crazy a bit. Oh no, what is white? What is white? I don't know what is white. Okay, let me try and make Ian white. Look at the background, gone. All right, it's even more orangey now, or more green actually. Okay, the camera is getting confused. What if I take this light and shoot it onto the background? Okay, that's not bad. It's lighting the background. I have changed color now. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the effect of white balance. That is also the effect of lighting of a scene. Okay, by knowing how to use the right color temperature for your lights and the right color temperature for your camera, you are able to create a lighting scheme for each scene. You can make the scene low key, which is dark, moody, or high key, which is bright and airy. Okay, at the same time, you can also make the scene very cold, bluish, greenish, or very warm, orangey, brown. Okay, I'll give you an example. You can go and study these genres. Go and look at Batman. Okay, all the Batman movies are all low-key lighting, and a lot of them like to show grungy, dark blue lighting schemes. Okay, on the other hand, if you look at Blade Runner, right, Blade Runner is very futuristic. Blade Runner is very thematic. The color schemes are different. They shift the color. And contrary to what YouTubers will tell you, not everything is done in post. It all begins at the planning stage. It all begins during your storyboarding, and your director of photography together with the gaffers, the head of the gaffers, they will determine what lights they need to use for where and when. And by playing with the color temperature of your lights, you can create a mood or a scene that is very cold or very warm or neutral. And that is what professional lights can do. All right, so let me recap. Professional lighting must be able to not only control the intensity of the light. By the way, this is the light. I am making it brighter right now. Notice what's happening. You make it brighter, the camera compensates for me. See, it makes me in expose. I'm in proper exposure right now, but look at the background, darker. Okay, in other words, my body is brighter than the rest of the frame. So if you want it to be even, you want my body to be the same as the background, you need to light me at the same power as the background. Okay. All right. So let me just change the settings here for you. All right. I am going to make it darker. There you go. That is exactly just enough light for me. All right. Do not make the mistake of putting a light and turning it on full blast. Always start at 0 power and then increase incrementally. All right, until the point that the shadow areas are filled. Look at my neck. Okay, this is off. Looks fine, doesn't it? Okay, but if you don't like this and you want to create some fill, just turn it a little bit on. Move the light further away, and right now I am popping. When I say popping, means the focus of the frame is now me and not the background. If I turn off the light, yeah, I kind of blend into the background because it's all the same intensity, it's all the same brightness. You're shooting me. I'm the star. I need to pop. I need to be slightly different. Let's turn on the light and I'm different. Okay? So, congratulations. That's your introduction to video lighting. Okay? Using LED lamps. LED lamps are fantastic because they don't get hot. Okay? Unfortunately, LED lamps are also not the most powerful lamps for production, and to this day you will not find a lot of LED fixtures in big productions. In big productions they would use things like HMI fixtures, tungsten, halogen, and hydrogen mercury iodide. HMI stands for hydrogen mercury iodide lamps. Just Google HMI set lighting and you'll have an entire explanation of that. Unfortunately, you need a lot of power for HMI lamps. You need generator, gensets, and the bulbs rate from 10,000, 5,000 to 20,000 watts. Okay, these little guys are prosumer lighting. These lights are for bloggers, for tabletop scenarios, for intimate interview scenarios. We cannot use this for an entire scene. You can't light a road with this. All right, but it is a very good starting point to learn about lighting technology and learn about lighting principles. Okay, so principle for today before I go is let the ambient light, this lighting, determine your exposure. Don't turn the lights on. Frame your camera, frame your talent, check your exposure, check your shutter speed, and if you like it, lock it down, lock everything down. Then add a light at its lower setting, okay, to give me a little bit of pop. Now this is the 3200K, or otherwise known as the tungsten light, to give me a little bit of orange, okay, if you like that thing. Unfortunately, orange doesn't work with my skin tone because I am pretty dark. Orange skin tone, I look like a Native American Indian. Oh, that's not me. So what I want to do is I want to change the light back to 5500K, okay, which is daylight, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of a colder hue like this. I'm also going to raise the height of the light so that I can get it at eye level, and I'm going to sit further back. So if you look carefully, that's still too dark, it's too bright. Turning it down, something like that. If you notice, I'm looking at the camera and adjusting the light. I'm not looking like this. I don't care. I'm looking at the effect that the light is having on the shot. I'm playing with the barn doors. These are the barn doors, these things over here. Okay? These barn doors are going to shape the light. I don't want the light to hit my chest. Okay? I want it to be just on my face. So I'll do something like that. And now I can talk. Hello, welcome to UOWKDU Penang. My entire frame is well lit, but yet my face is slightly brighter by half a stop. And you are drawn to my face. You are drawn to this portion of the frame because I made you look at me. That is the secret of lighting. That is what we all aspire to, and that takes time. So enjoy this video. If you have some lights with you right now, please go and play with it. Follow the basic principle. Set your exposure for ambient light. Then you add an additional light just to kick the object a little bit. That's why the lights are sometimes called kicker lights. All right. Enjoy yourself. The next lighting video will come probably in a few days' time. Adios.